this is way different than what we normally do, and I had something initially planned, but I wasn't able to record it with the boys, and I thought, hey, I'll just grab a couple of friends, and we'll just record a show talking about Halloween. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and happy Halloween, guys!
Yeah, I guess today we're talking about Halloween, horror-related subjects, and other stuff of the matter. I don't know. I gotta admit, this is one of my weakest topics because I've never been like a huge horror guy and/or Halloween enthusiast myself. But
well, like I've always been to Halloween, but I never went like that hardcore with Halloween decorations and
it's
stuff
just
like
a good
that.
time to get candy cheaper, man.
True. Honestly, I think everyone can relate to that. Halloween is just the prime time to get cheap Halloween candy.
Get
That's
sick
all it
on
is.
dozens and dozens of candy.
Living
That's
in a
what
nice
Halloween's
neighborhood
about.
and you get the good kind of candy too.
Catch type 2 diabetes, risk of death, risk living off of sugar. It's what it all.
Yeah,
it's
true.
what it's
You know,
all about.
that's the one thing about Halloween. You know, there was always that one house that you knew like gave out the big ass king size bar in the whole neighborhood.
Yes.
All the kids would go to.
It's the first place you hit up.
I definitely have one of those too. It's like, oh, hell yeah, dude, king size Snickers, OG.
It's like the location of a Payday 2 heist. Get the king size Snickers. Go get it.
Kit Kat bar, Snickers.
I can't.
Milky Way
gave me a bag of pretzels.
Honestly, I didn't mind the bag of pretzels too.
No, the bag of pretzels were fun. You know the worst people are? The fucking guys who give out like those big like fucking square stickers.
The fuck?
Square.
You guys never had like someone give you like a fucking like square sticker or something that just wasn't like a piece of candy or something. They just give you something.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
They just don't even give candy. They're just like, hey, you seem like you'd enjoy this stupid piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. They just give you like this like $1 piece of shit, and I'm like, dude, it's Halloween. What is this?
Yeah, for me it was like they had grab bags you could get, and they'd include stickers with the candy. So thankfully, I never was at the stick end of you only get a sticker.
Sometimes they would have those. See, the best people were not only the big candy bar houses, but also the people that would give you the baggies of several candies. Because most houses would have like the buckets, and they just throw you like 1 or 2 pieces. But nah, you get those little grab bags. You got like 4 or 5 candies in those.
Yeah, I guess I was lucky. I had like 6 or 7, and then like a little sticker in mine the few times I went trick or treating. I guess I was just living in a good area, had a good time and place.
Stickers were a disappointment, man. I don't want no stickers. All right, replace that sticker and buy like a $1 bag of like an assortment of candies.
Literally, a pack of gum from the 7-Eleven would do a better job than a pack of stickers.
Seriously.
I hate gum, but you know what? I'd rather have gum because at least I can get like the aftertaste with water. I like mint gum for that. Mint things.
They're better than raisins.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Give me some fucking juicy fruit, my guy. Come on, hook a brother up.
I don't think I've ever had.
Alright, you brought up the candy. You gotta name your favorite candy bars. What are they?
Listen, man, before we start with that, I'm just saying, if I got like a fucking oatmeal cookie, you better bet your ass I'm gonna toilet paper their house or some shit.
Oatmeal cookies are delicious.
Oatmeal raisin. Oatmeal raisin.
Oh, okay, oatmeal raisin.
Oh.
That makes sense. I hate raisins.
My bad.
Yeah.
Oatmeal raisin.
Okay, I don't hate it as much, but I'm at the fucking, like, you're close to, like, getting on that level. You're close to getting a really shitty time. But it's still food that I can eat, so at least it's something.
Dude, I'd rather fucking eat I'd rather eat a sticker than fucking eat that shit.
It tastes like chemicals.
Than a fucking oatmeal raisin piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I get more nutrients from the wrapper than the fucking thing itself.
Yeah.
Probably accurate. I don't know. My favorite candy actually have like a top 3. Not really in a particular order. I like Paydays, those Reese's Fast Break bars, and Take 5 candy bars, which are like these chocolate like pretzel candy bars. Those are really good.
For me, I kind of separate them into different categories of like chocolate, like something like taffy or whatever. But I guess in general, I'd have to go with a good old Crunch Bar. Crunch Bars just fucking hit.
Basic, but I respect.
Oh, you're a Crunch guy.
I like the texture.
I like many others. I also like fucking like Hershey, like almonds. Those ones
Hershey
are pretty good.
almond is the best version of Hershey. Most Hershey stuff is just generic.
Yeah. But honestly, if I had the option between a Hershey almond and Crunch, I'd have to go with the Crunch.
I would too.
It just hits different.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
For me, I'd probably say my top 3 for at least whatever I get from Halloween, is Crunch, Hershey's Cookies and Cream, and Snickers bars.
See, I like the cookies and cream because they're like the white chocolate. I don't know what it is specifically about like the generic candies when they do white chocolate. It always tastes
Too
really good to
sweet.
me.
It's a funky taste. White
Yeah.
chocolate is funky.
I feel like it's too
Yeah.
sweet at times.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
I
with
understand
you.
that.
Like
The Oreo adds a bit of bitterness to it.
like if I were to say like what's my favorite candy at a different seasonal time of year, like Easter, my favorite candy is getting like or Christmas actually is those like white chocolate like Reese's trees. I don't know what it is particularly.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
But those are so
Yeah.
good. And like the white chocolate actually makes it better because usually I'm a dark chocolate person. I prefer dark chocolate.
I'm a white chocolate kind of guy.
That's because you're white.
I like dark chocolate though.
A white guy likes a white chocolate bar.
I just like the natural.
I can't stand dark chocolate. It's so bitter for me. Ugh.
Yeah, it is an acquired taste. I will admit that.
I think it's the best. I don't know. It's a more natural cocoa flavor. I appreciate it.
I get that, but give me milk chocolate any day.
Yeah, I can get
I think
behind that. Like especially real smooth and creamy milk chocolates.
Mhm. I think it's just that milk chocolate or dark. There's no like real like milk chocolate is just the above all. You're gonna like it regardless. If you're going into dark, some people will like it, some people will hate it.
It's,
You know how it is.
You love it or hate it. It's just one of those things.
Kind of the same
Yeah.
for white chocolate too.
Yeah,
You're mixed for either of those, but milk chocolate's the good middle ground.
absolutely.
But if I were to make a top 3 of my favorite candies, this is tough because there's probably some candies I'm gonna forget here, but I know my absolute favorite candy of the bunch is, of course, milk chocolate itself. More specifically, either Hershey's chocolate or Dove chocolate. But I know Dove isn't really a Halloweenish chocolate. You see that often. You see
true.
Hershey's more often than
Really, so
Dove chocolate.
just like a standard Hershey bar.
Yes. And
Actually,
I
don't know
don't
that
want
Hershey
any
bar.
nuts in it. I think Oreo's okay, and dark chocolate is a big no-no. I want regular milk chocolate in my chocolate bar.
I like that like maybe once a year, like the normal milk chocolate Hershey bars. But when it comes to Hershey's, I really like the Mr. Good bars, the ones with I think those are the almond ones. I might be wrong, but
And then when it
think they
comes to
might
my when it comes to my second favorite, I think I would have to give it to I gotta give it to Reese's. Reese's really knows their shit. Like it's
Oh yeah.
what kind that you like?
it's literally peanut butter and covered in chocolate. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with that. And I think Kit Kat is kind of similar to that, but Reese's
yeah,
is
it's more
just
of a
my
wafer.
go-to.
I don't
And-
think Kit Kat has any. What does Kit Kat have on it besides chocolate and wafer? Does it have anything else?
I think it is.
I don't
just
know.
chocolate and wafer.
Yeah, I think it is.
Didn't you know Kit Kat is made out of Kit Kat?
Well, you know, there are. How come there's not 9 Kit Kats in my fucking Kit Kat package then?
Like that's a real thing. That's an official statement. Kit Kat is actually made out of smaller Kit Kats.
True.
It makes sense when you kind of think about it.
I don't know. I'm just saying, where's the 9-piece cut Kit Kat bar then? That's all I need. Good.
I don't know, but
Is
okay.
it,
When it comes
they cut the
to-
burger in half, they cut the Kit Kat in half to show the spread.
Then comes to my third favorite piece of candy, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure what the place is here. But if I had to think anything on top of my head, it would probably have to be probably maybe like the gummy lifesavers, or I don't know, gummy bears maybe or something. I'm definitely a gummy guy.
Yeah, I respect that. I've kind of been the opposite with gummies. It's very
I mean,
hard for me to like gummies, but when they're good, I do really like them.
I do like my Laffy Taffy too, though. I just thought of that. I'm not entirely sure what to put this here, but
I guess
I
you
don't
could
know.
really just
Put it at like
categorize it
fourth
into.
place.
Yeah.
One, I don't
Wait,
know.
actually, now I got a question for all of you. What's your opinion on dots?
Dots? Like
Dots.
Yeah.
like they're what are those? Like gummy candy, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
but they're like they're like gushers, but extra like sticky.
I actually really like dots. I think they're actually pretty delicious. I put it in
Wait,
like
wait. Dots, the stuff you get at the amusement parks?
no, like the like multicolored candy, like the gummy candy, like the yellow packaging, and then
Yeah.
like red, blue, and like yellow and stuff.
Have you Have you never had
Find a
dots?
picture of it.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it is. It's been
Here,
a while
actually,
since
I
I've
have
been
a
on
box. Here, hold on, give me a second. I have a box.
Oh, he's gonna turn the camera on. What a gamer!
Yeah, hold on, let me just go through my like trash.
Oh, he's going through his trash.
I'm sifting through my trash. I'm a trash man of trash. What do we got here?
Were you trashing?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, have you
trash.
seen his KD?
Are you a hoarder?
And his no KD.
Yeah, dude, my entire house is filled with trash. I'm a trash man.
I would say you're cancer, but even cancer kills people.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
true.
well I can't find it, but
Oh, that's okay. I'll send him.
But to describe it, they're like little like cylinders with a round top and different colors and come different flavors. And one complaint I have about them, which I had one recently, which is why I was looking for it. They're way too sticky. I feel and stick to your teeth way too much.
They do indeed do.
And as a kid, they're great, but as an adult, I'm just like, this is not nice. They taste good, but
yeah, I really
That's
like
no good.
I really like the flavor, but they are obnoxiously sticky.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's like changing a recipe or if temperature has something to do with it because it's getting colder outside. But I swear they're getting tougher and harder on the first bite.
Oh, dots! No wonder I didn't recognize them immediately. Those are the type of candy I only get at Halloween.
Yeah, like I never went out of my way to buy these, but they're always like a small little treat to me, I guess.
They're definitely different. It's literally Gushers without the gooey stuff in the middle.
Okay.
That's the equivalent, and they got like a weird taste to it. But like it's a taste that you just like you want to keep eating it just because like you're fascinated by how wonky it is.
Yeah.
It's a wonky candy.
What's your opinion on dots?
It's the type of candy I'd trade away if someone wanted it.
Fair.
Yeah,
That's honestly the best explanation for it. Okay, well, in order to wrap this up a bit, I'm just gonna go ahead and I guess the rest will just talk about our top, the second, third, fourth place for the rest of our candies. So I'm just gonna go first. Second place goes to Laffy Taffy, third place Starburst, and fourth place goes to Almond Joy.
We're gonna do fourth place.
Ooh, Starburst.
Well, Luke did top 1 to 4. Luke did top.
That's kind of the same category as Laffy Taffy, isn't it? Kind of.
I don't really know. To be honest.
I don't know. I guess they both equate to it, but like they're both made to. I don't know. But that's basically my top 4 candy. Pat, what's yours?
Laffy Taffy Starbursts are definitely like a third or fourth place for me.
I don't know. I guess my fourth and fifth place candies, like I'd probably put it's actually rough. I'm gonna have to think about this for a minute. What is
Or are you trying to think of other candies?
I like an Almond Joy. Like Almond Joy, I'd probably put that at fifth place. I like the dark chocolate Almond Joys, I'd put that at fifth place.
Okay.
As for fourth place, I feel like fourth place could really vary for me. There's like a lot of candies I could like put in the same place. Um, I might like actually have to look at like a list of fucking candies to be like, oh yeah, that one.
If you want, we can...
I'd put Snickers in fourth place.
Okay.
I
Cool.
love me a classic Snickers.
What's your guys' opinion on caramel candy?
It can be good.
Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
candy bar uses caramel. Payday. I love paydays.
I
Caramel-
should probably
Oh,
mention
yeah,
I am not.
love paydays.
I should probably mention I am not a fan of caramel candy in the slightest. It's just not for me at all.
Actually, very chewy.
I never been big of a fan of caramel, and I'm just I have a weird interest and taste of what I don't and what I do like.
We're all picky with something, but I can agree. Caramel can be handled wrong, but most time in my experience, I have had it correct. There is a correct way to how you handle it, and there's for sure a wrong way.
There's a wrong way.
Yeah.
But I'm also just not that big of a fan of caramel in general.
Yeah.
I'm not on that hype train.
Jalen, what's your top 4 candy? And maybe 5th or 6th?
Yeah.
It would, honestly, when I rated my candy, I didn't really rate it from top to bottom. I more or less
just pretend there's a 4th and 5th.
Well, give us your honorable mention.
I would say definitely a Three Musketeers. That shit, I love those. It's a soft chocolate bar, and paydays. I do love paydays.
Horror movies. Fucking, we know them, we love them, we laugh at them, we think they can be really fucking stupid sometimes.
Have you guys seen any at all? Before we get into my favorites, alright?
To be honest, I'm probably very horror movie ignorant out of everyone here. I'm just not usually a fan of watching that type of stuff. It's just whatever to me.
Even things like you gotta had to seen some semi-horrorish films, like the first 2 Terminator films, right?
Do those count? Do they actually count as horror movies?
They're not horror, but they have like elements.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. If we count the Terminator films, yeah, Terminator 1 and 2 are pretty fucking phenomenal.
It's like how we can count Die Hard as a Christmas film.
Well, that's I would agree with that, but that's debatable to people.
Yeah, it's the same way like a movie can like be horror in a way in terms of aspects and how like certain like scenes are filmed.
Obviously,
the atmosphere,
it's not directly horror, but it has horror elements in the same way Die Hard has Christmas elements. It's not directly a Christmas movie, but it's a subtle Christmas movie. It's a good medium.
Yeah, it's there. All these movies that we're talking about are not like horror movies or Christmas movies exactly, but they have elements where like people can watch them. Like, oh yeah, that's.
Yeah, like you can see the horror in Skynet, sure. I mean, it's a different kind of horror, but I guess I get it.
Now, one thing, a movie that does have horror elements, but I wouldn't classify as a horror movie, would be like the first Jurassic Park film, because that's definitely 100% a thriller than it is horror.
Yeah, there's
even though there's some moments when first viewing that would make you shit your pants, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
those velociraptors are gonna get you, boy.
Being in the Jeep on a rainy day when it's dark outside and not working anymore in front of a fucking T-Rex, that'd be pretty scary, I'd say.
Yeah. Mood and atmosphere, it works. But have you seen a single, or not even just watch it, but seen a glimpse? Have you seen like, I don't know, like fucking Friday the 13th, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or anything like that?
Yeah,
I've seen the original Halloween.
Oh, there you go.
I think
I know Halloween has kind of been a discussion this year, especially since the new Halloween Ends has come out. But like, I think only the original matters.
Listen, we'll get to that. I'm talking to Pet right now. Say what you said.
Yeah, out of those movies, like I think Halloween's the only one I've actually seen.
Yeah, because that's what started the slasher, or not start, but popularized the slasher genre. That's what inspired Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, like I didn't even go out of my way to watch it either. It was like I was just at my uncle's house or whatever, and it was on, and I wasn't doing anything else. And I was like, yeah, I guess we're just watching this now, whatever.
Mhm.
And like
And like
yeah, it's okay.
and like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street is just one of those series where like once you start one film, you kind of just gotta watch the others
And
because
like
there's not really one really good film. They're just all kind of so bad it's good.
Yeah.
although the original is actually a really good film. Like what makes Halloween more interesting than just like a lot of the other standard horror movies. Same thing with kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street too. On Elm
It's the tension.
Yeah, it's not only the tension, but like they also just have like a really interesting like
Premise going on.
premise or character development. Like the character development of like Michael Myers is extremely interesting to me, and like the fact that like fucking good old Freddy boy can like enter your dreams and like haunt you that way is like a really interesting concept.
Yeah, they got really interesting concepts, and I wish they didn't like fuck it up even more with sequel after sequel. I did hear the first Halloween 2 was pretty solid too. I think that was the first time they tried to end the series because I know Halloween 3 they tried to make these Halloween movies like their own separate stories, and they were pretty much done with the Michael Myers after 2. But because people wanted more Michael Myers, we got Halloween 4, 5, 6, Resurrection, H2O, fucking the reboot
Yeah,
series or whatever that canceled out all the sequels.
which one's the one with the cult? Like the cult group trying to like resurrect Michael Myers.
I think that's 4, 5, 6. Because I know they had
Yeah,
like a
three different
consistent theme with like a cult. But like I haven't seen them, so I've only seen the original, so
I know I like meme watched one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was. I don't know, but it had to
I
do
don't
with
know,
the cult.
Resurrection?
It had to do with the cult. They were trying to resurrect Michael Myers. I don't know if it was called Resurrection, and very well may have been, but I just remember this cult, and they were trying to resurrect Michael Myers or something, and he comes back and he just kills them all or something, and it's really funny.
That sounds super fun.
You are our god! Wake up!
Lord, bless us with your mercy.
These guys like spend their whole life resurrecting this demon, and they're just like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Thanks for the help, by the way, but I really just don't care about you.
Nice try, dumbass.
We dedicated our whole lives for resurrecting this man. Guess what, bitch?
Maybe you shouldn't
all
have
for
wasted your
nothing.
time.
Should have fucking touched grass and got a girlfriend, bitch.
Maybe you should have just took my place.
Yeah. Done the job for me. Now I have to wake up from my nap. And it's early.
Maybe that's why he's like fucking pissed. He's like, why did you bring me back?
Why did you wake me up at 4 in the morning?
I wanted this
Damn
shitty
good
series to be over.
He's getting tired of the films.
Dead already. Just kill me.
Great, you're trying to monetize off me again?
Wait, are you trying to milk more money out of me? Do I look like a cow to you? Do I look like a money
It's just-
cow? What
Yeah,
is
it's just-
this?
It's just
Correct.
on set. It starts killing the director.
I would like to see that. Alright,
Get out of here.
alright,
I
so
don't give a
Michael,
shit.
basically what you're going to do in the scene is the cultists are going to bring you back to life, and you're going to come out, alright? And you're going to use that prop knife that I gave you. And
Which
there
is
you
an
go,
actual
alright?
knife.
So, start, okay? And then he starts the scene, and then he pulls out a real knife, and he's like stabbing people, except they don't know that they're actually dying, so they're putting on their performances, and they realize that they're in pain. And then, he's like, cut, all right, good shot, and he's, he's still walking towards the director with the knife, and
That's a. Jill, what are your Jill, what are your experiences with the Halloween movies?
I really haven't really watched any of them except for the reboot.
It doesn't matter. Just any single one. Talk about it.
I mean, I really,
Anything.
I know the reboots are terrible.
Yes.
Cool.
I've heard. So I've heard.
It's not good.
Fair.
It's not
Oh.
good.
I guess I
saw
can
the
mention
newest
this.
one, and it
Go ahead.
just somehow Michael's spirit is still alive. Like he's still alive, but then somehow the guy in movie just starts to become him. So now there's
What?
technically like 2 of them, even though
What?
there's still one of them.
What?
I don't
I guess.
fucking know. Michael Myers kills him later because the guy's like, "Hey, why'd you take my fucking mask? That's my property." So he's like,
He's like, bitch. Slaps
Bitch,
him in the face.
it's mine.
even though this motherfucker
Chops
literally
off his
had
legs.
a knife in his fucking throat, by the way, Michael Myers is like, "No, the job ain't done." So he just fucking snaps his neck.
Unfortunate.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it does.
And the way they get rid of him is they just put him in a fucking meat grinder or whatever.
Hey, I mean, look, that'll get rid of anything.
They treat him like fucking
We watched Mafia too.
yeah, Mafia 2.
Hey Vito! Don Sins is a god!
Hey, Michael Myers. Dawson's is regrets.
Tragic.
Yes.
Oh man. I've seen a couple horror movies in my time. Like I've seen Alien.
Yeah,
you know,
I made you watch Alien, Aiden.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
I have seen that.
Wait, you actually did like it?
Yeah, I was criticizing, but I also can't lie. I was having a fun time, and I did enjoy the movie.
Which one? The first movie? Because the
First
first
one.
movie's phenomenal.
First one, yeah.
Yeah.
First and second. Both are really good.
Yeah,
I-
are you kidding? Those are like one of my favorite horror movies out there.
Yeah.
Like
I've
the
seen
only
both of
other
them,
movie
but-
that is like up there with my favorites with Alien and Aliens is the original Exorcist movie. That's the
Sometimes
only thing that's up there with it.
Sometimes I even forget to consider that those movies are horror movies because they're just such good movies.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah! Have you seen The Exorcist, the original?
Actually, yeah, I have seen The Exorcist. I have, yeah.
Yeah. Would you think of it? I mean, what?
I mean,
Well-
it's a really good film. I don't have too much to say about it. I mean,
Just nails
Not
horror.
a lot to go off of.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's creepy. The voices are weird and
It's
kinda
just a
dated.
really well-made movie
well-made
about
movie.
a little girl getting possessed.
Yeah, like that's all there really is to say about it. To be honest, it's well shot. It's well done. They use disgusting
It's
props. on set.
extremely well built up. I just really like how grounded it really feels. Like it's like you're actually in the room, and it's just. Ugh.
Yeah, and it, made a parody for one of my favorite Boondocks episodes, and that's all. That
And like it makes you wonder, like, what if this were to happen to one of your own closest friends or family and such? What the fuck would you do? What would you resort to helping them?
I'd leave.
Leave?
What am I gonna do?
I'm getting the fuck out of here. I ain't dealing with this shit.
Hey, I brought the booze, I brought the pizza, and oh fuck, I'm out of here.
Don't worry about the lady screaming in the other bedroom. We got
I
booze
brought
and
the ounce that you asked for. Okay, never mind.
pizza. Don't
What-
don't worry about the shaking bed. Don't worry
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
She's doing fuck all in the other room.
So, I have one story from when I was a child. When I was at home one day, I was
Uh-huh.
browsing through movies to watch, and since we have Xfinity on demand, we had some free movies to watch, and I saw the Chainsaw Massacre. I thought, oh, that sounds fun. And my parents were
Ooh.
like, no, you can't watch that. So I ended up watching Godzilla 2000.
Oh my god, that's tragic. That's fucking
Yeah.
tragic.
Looking back, it might have scarred me for life, but at least I would have had an enjoyable movie.
Oh,
I have not
Godzilla
seen the
2000
Chainsaw
sucks.
Massacre. Is it like the very first one made in like?
It was the
pretty
very
good.
first one, yeah.
Because I heard from just knowing from Cinemassacre's reviews that it wasn't really much of a massacre, but there was a few deaths. Like it's not like
it's more or less they want you to realize
Fear the
that what the
potential.
family does is a
Mhm.
massacre because
Yeah.
they're not the only victims. There's been countless others before them.
Yeah.
It's a family full of loonies, from my understanding. One of them just so happens to be a guy wielding a fucking chainsaw ready to cut you in half.
Exactly.
I don't want to be cut in half. I want to be cut in four, you know.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
that's
I hate
pretty
that
much.
motherfucker. He mixes me up in MKX too much.
Yeah, that's
Have
pretty
you
much
guys
the
seen
gist.
Evil Dead?
I have not.
No,
You
I'm
haven't
just
seen any of the Evil Dead movies?
no.
I know I still need to watch the second one because that's the more notable one, but looking back on the first one, I feel like that had really, really good effects with it in general. That and none of it was like CGI at all. It was all like what's the term? Practical effects?
yeah.
Yeah, practical. Like, I think a good example would be like in Spider-Man 1 where they have him doing the swing. That was like an actor, or it might have been actual Toby, just on a rope swinging.
But like they had all these
Yeah.
like really cool props and such and whatnot, and they made the gore look so real and fucking uncomfortable when they get stabbed by something. It's just, ugh. It's freaky deaky shit, man. And it's the same thing with Among Us, the movie, also known as The Thing. Have you guys seen The Thing?
I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about, and I know the gist of like the plot.
Yeah, there's people in Antarctica or North Pole, depending on which version you're watching, and
Mhm.
there's this alien disguised as one of them, and they gotta figure out who's the alien, who has he mutated to, and the thing about it is like there's multiple of them that turn into the fucking creature. Like it just
Yeah.
keeps morphing and multiplying and shit. And like if they get this shit out to the public, oh fuck, the world is doomed.
Yeah.
Like
The only reason I know about the plot is because fucking Matt Pat made a fucking Among Us video like comparing it. That's the only reason I know the plot. That's pretty much the gist of my horror related. Is there anything you
Your
you
horror
want to add,
related?
Luke?
I do
My
I
horror
do want to
movies.
add
And, yeah.
some honorable mentions. How you
Uh-huh.
guys feel about Chucky?
I've seen Chucky. It's a
I like it.
it's not really like a good film in my opinion. It's more like one of those films that has like a lot of stupid elements that makes it funny to watch. But it's
Which
not
are you
like
talking
a
about the
good one.
first one?
Yes. Like it's an
I
interesting
kind of
concept,
gotta
but I think it's
disagree with
too
you
goofy
on
to
that.
take seriously. Like I know for a lot of people, like a lot of the horror is like just the fact that it's like a doll that kills people or whatever, and it makes like the dolls creepy. But to me, like a lot of it's just kind of goofy and funny to watch.
Was more focused on the horror-esque basis of him being the doll, and it wasn't until the sequels where it kind of gets more comical with it. And the best part about it is like I know with one of the newest ones and probably my favorite one of the bunch, the Cult of Chucky. They basically mix Chucky's shit-talking humor with like these really uncomfortable moments, and like it's just like a perfect blend of being its own thing, and I really enjoy what they did with it. And it just makes me all the more sad that they had this shitty reboot that the same people who did the It reboot made that just isn't as good. Or I haven't seen it, but it does not look great. The doll alone looks like shit.
The CGI
Yeah.
is terrible.
One thing I just don't get anymore is like why people like don't really use practical effects as much as they used to. I know like CGI
Because
is like
CGI
more.
is easier.
It's easier, but like if you want to look at it through an artistic
Still
way,
costs a
some
chunk of money.
some scenes would just look so much better if it was some more practical. I think CGI could like help add into it, and that's why I
They're
think like a lot of
fucking
things should be
lazy.
treated.
That's why.
That's one thing that's one thing I don't really like about the Spider-Man movies, for example. Like I feel like sometimes they use way too much CGI in an area where I think this scene could have been done practical, and I think it could look good.
Which Spider-Man films?
MCU ones. I see like so many scenes where I'm like, okay, this looks so much impractical. I can just tell it's CGI just by looking at it. It doesn't look like he fits right there. Why? Like there was a scene, and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen a Spider movie from like 2015 or whatever. There's a scene at like a harbor, and he's standing right there looking at some like Quicksilver that he just like webbed up.
Oh yeah.
And he's just standing there. Yeah, it's Halloween, and and he's CGI'd here, but he's just standing there, not doing any action scene. So it's so noticeable to see, like, why couldn't they just get the actual suit on set and stand? Right? There's a horror movie called Jack Frost, and
isn't that the evil snowman movie?
Yes, and is a scene where he turns into water, goes into the bathtub with a naked woman, and then proceeds to reform into snowman and puts her to death. And it is with the carrot. And it is so stupid. I'm not kidding.
Can I have my time back? I just want to mention the movies I like.
Go ahead.
I think, even though the producer is a piece of shit, I still think the Jeepers Creepers movies stuck with me. They were really the first horror movies I ever really watched and got terrified of. And another one that I really liked was 13 Ghosts.
How come there's only 13?
I don't know.
Why not 14?
What about The Shining? How do you feel about that? Have you guys seen it?
The movie's good. The miniseries is trash.
The guy with the axe going, it's Johnny,
yeah,
Johnny, my man, my dude. What's good?
What's good? How you doing?
It's a good film.
Yeah. You getting loony over here? Looney Tunes escapade? What's going on? What's going on in that head of yours, huh?
Yeah, Shining's fine. The miniseries is bleh. Yeah, that's my opinion. John, what do you think about it?
Never seen it, sadly.
Okay, Luke, you better not have a 50 like page list.
I only have one more mention, and
you better make it quick.
And it's a more horror-ish movie that I actually just don't care about in general.
Okay.
The one series like I just couldn't get behind was the Saw series.
I can agree with that.
Cause like it's literally just like nothing but trying to make the goriest scene. It's not based off trying to build up characters or not that much. That's not really the main.
It's not meant to build up characters. The idea is the villain himself and being a mastermind, creating all these traps for people to solve, and like the overall premise.
I get that.
Trying to
get that.
Figure out who he is.
Just it's literally just a gore fetish movies. That's what it feels like to me.
A lot of.
And I think there is some interesting elements to it. Like I feel like they're lacking in the whole character development department. Like they're not emphasized on the characters that much. I feel like it's just people doing stupid shit to get into these stupid ass booby traps that may have been easily avoidable, or just. You're just watching people get painfully massacred throughout the whole damn thing.
Like the head trap, you can just put a rock in that and it won't close on you.
In a way, I guess, in defense of it, like, there's like the reasoning why people make those poor decisions, because it's like us as humans, if we're in like a situation that can make us not think straight.
Yeah, I mean, the idea in general is that he makes these traps for people that do bad things. He punishes them with those traps. Like,
right. He's punishing bad people.
Yeah.
Essentially, I guess.
Yeah, so in a way, like, you still, it's more of a gross out factor. Like, yeah, these are really shit people, but like, damn.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
Yeah, that's fair. There's some things that are just too brutal for no reason I can't watch either.
I get that violence is a tool of storytelling, but I just feel like they didn't.
It's fine
use
to
that
use
in that way.
A lot of violence as long as you use it correctly.
Yes, and I feel like they were just overemphasizing it in the Saw movies.
you guys don't want to watch gore, don't watch the Terrifier series. There's 2 movies and it's just pretty much gore. It's nothing but gore.
It's pretty much uncomfortable gore scenes throughout the whole damn thing.
First movie, it's just literally a clown killing people because it feels like it. And the second movie has a shit plot. And it's just the same thing. Clown wants to kill.
Like Attack of the Space Killer Clowns or whatever the hell that movie was.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know if you heard
You know,
of that 80s film.
Listen, I know about fucking Jack
Yeah,
Frost. I
like-
don't know what the fuck that is.
You
My
don't know what I'm talking about? Oh, you probably shouldn't know.
Horror
games.
games.
Stuff I'm
Now we
familiar
can
with.
talk about horror games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm way more familiar with. I'm
And-
not very horror movie savvy.
Now- I know this game isn't very, horror oriented, but like I feel like an honorable mention right here would be Left 4 Dead 2, and Left 4 Dead 1 as well.
I mean, sure.
You know, despite how little I played of Left 4 Dead 2, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know
The
it's
fact
more
that
like
I
a
could use the workshop to make these zombies into these horrifying childhood Teletubbies trying to massacre you and decapitate you is ingenious, along with your good old buddy Shrek over here trying to throw concrete at you.
And the reason I say is because like growing up, I didn't have a lot of horror games to play on with myself because parents and whatnot.
Yes.
I more or less just had a Walking Dead 360 game, which is a survival-based game, and Left 4 Dead 2 on the 360. Well, Left 4 Dead 2's sound design and how it approaches like atmosphere can spook you. Not as much like as a horror game, but like it definitely gives off like a spooky tone, and I love it. And you could enhance that experience even more. It's like the workshop.
When it comes to a zombie game, just in general, like it's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, this is like peak zombie material. You got
like you can't even
really
top it.
good shit going on, and like even without mods, like the characters alone are really funny to listen to. It's
the characters
great.
have personality. There's like a real threat.
Mm-hmm. I love every single one of them. Like when I mod my game, it's literally just like a Halo ODST mod, and they're like just fighting through the like fucking flood, and there's like actual like Halo music and shit. It's actually pretty dope mod. Replaces like all the weapons. Big fan. Really well done. There's like the concert section with like they like replace.
It's like you're fighting the flood all over again.
Yeah, so like in the mission with the concert, it plays like a couple of different Halo songs, and then like the vehicle that like comes in to pick you up or whatever gets replaced, and it's like a Halo Falcon from Reach, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I got to see you play that mod, and it looks phenomenal.
It was a really cool mod. It was honestly very atmospheric. You actually feel like you're in the Halo universe, like playing. It was a multitude of different mods put together, but
that's what you like to see. And I'm glad Left 4 Dead 2 is still alive and kicking just as strong as before.
It's a great game. It deserves all the praise that it gets.
Yeah,
it does.
I actually have another honorable mention I'd like to bring up too before we get into real games.
Okay.
Have any of you guys here played Call of Duty World at War? I'm actually just out of curiosity.
I've seen the Actman reviews. I know the gist of it.
Yeah.
Dude, I've grown up with so much Vanos gaming. I've seen so many World at War videos.
But have any of you actually played it?
No, I have not played it.
No, I have not.
But I know what the game is.
I've played my fair share of Call of Duty.
Yeah, am I the only person who's played World at War?
I think so, unfortunately.
That really sucks because let me tell you, man.
I'd love to play it though.
When you beat the campaign for the first time and like you put that flag on top of like fucking the Russian flag in Germany and you're like fuck yeah, we won World War II and
we
like
won.
That shit get into World at War zombies like right when that mission ends, like World at War really took the horror element in zombies that like no other game really did, right? Like Black Ops 1 had it kinda with Kino der Toten in the first map. But like
I heard that was the best
for the atmosphere was like in World at War there was like way more volumetric fog, there was like all these different creepy sound effects. The zombies had like I don't know, the zombies sounded more ominous, like like Sam's voice was more creepy and weird, and it was just you, an occasional voice line from a Marine on like Verrectin onward. It was just these dark areas, not much sound except for fucking all the violence and zombies going around you. There wasn't even like Easter egg songs until like Verrucht, and you got that
Yeah,
It,
in a fucking toilet.
it made
Not
you
Fair
feel
Untold
alone.
was the first to introduce the origin crew too, right?
No, that was actually Shinonuma that did that.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. So
Okay, that makes sense.
So that map and Verrucht were and the original game only have the ray gun. Shinonuma that introduces the Wunderwaffe. And but all of them just have this really good atmosphere, and they use zombies from the war. Oh, there's Japanese zombies, there's German zombies, and they have the uniforms on. It's just it feels like they really cared a lot about the horror element specifically in zombies there than they did in like any other game where they tried to make it a lot bigger because it caught on so well. And that was something I always really appreciate about World at War specifically. It has an atmosphere to it that like no other game has to its zombies. Some actual games now.
Okay.
Well,
There-
what did you have in
I
mind?
guess
Well, there's some classics, like, obviously we could sit here and talk about Resident Evil, which is an obvious one, but I'd actually like to make a mention to, like, a Japanese horror game that I don't really have much to say about. I just think people should check it out. It's called Parasite
think-
Eve. It's a really great Japanese classic horror PS1 game with a really good story and a really interesting premise, and if you're into that kind of thing, check it out. It's good.
Yeah.
Silent Hill level good, I think. It's a classic.
I think one that is honestly like also not in regards to like Resident Evil, but pretty much I think helped in kickstarting one. I forget what it's called, but it had like the Scissor Man as like the main, bad guy, I guess. It was on SNES, and then I think it had a PS1 port. I saw Jontron talk about it like a
Dark
while ago.
something. It's like, fuck, what is that game called? I know what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah,
Nightshade?
it might be.
Maybe.
It had you play as
Clock
like the woman.
Tower.
Clock Tower, yes, Clock Tower.
Tower. No, that's right. Nightshade's something else.
Clock Tower, I think, is a really good notable mention, especially with like the tech they had back then and what they had to deal
Yeah, it's
with.
a really good looking SNES game.
And I think it's a pretty good horror game.
Yeah,
Like for its time, and I think it's aged well in some aspects.
it's probably like the first horror game to like actually feel like a horror game.
Yeah, and like just one of the horror games. Like I know like Friday the 13th exists on SNES, and I'm like,
Well, there's
or else it's
also
on NES.
there's fucking horror games on Atari. There's a Halloween game on the Atari 2600.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah.
there's
But,
plenty
like,
of those, but like this feels like the first jump into like trying to actually capture that aspect of
Yeah,
horror in a
They're trying
game.
to scare you
Like,
in a video game.
It's like Halloween existed on Atari, but like
It's Halloween on fucking.
It's
SNES
on
was
Atari,
not that good.
I don't mean to insult, but like it's on Atari. You can't
yeah,
like
yeah. The
capture
game on
that.
Atari is hilarious. Like you're
Yeah.
just Laurie Strode, and then there's like the kids in different rooms, and you have to stop like Michael from coming and fucking killing them. And takes their heads off. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's just like these
Yeah.
pixelated blood coming out of their heads, and they just like run for like 3 seconds. They just fall over.
Huh,
Yeah.
So they're like baby chickens.
Pretty much.
And now, as for my experience, and I think we could also include maybe some indie titles here, and I'm going to include some indie titles. The only ones I've really, sat down and played, like actual, FNAF 1, 2,
FNAF,
3.
That's an elephant we need to get out of the way.
That honestly could be a different topic for a whole other video. But if I had to like choose, the trilogy is probably the best way to experience it. 4 is a bit of a
But-
stretch, and
Hold-
that's all I'll say. And you know what? I will take that. I think 1 through 4. With that, yeah. Now remembering better, 1 through 4 is honestly the best way if you want to go about this game's plot. Scariness factor, horror. There's even alternate, like there's the blindfolded mode, which requires you to like use your hearing to determine like where, like which animatronic is where. I think the stuff like that's really cool, and also
they
helps into that horror
They didn't start
factor.
doing the non-traditional stuff until like Sister Location, which is
Yeah.
still a really good game to play, but
Yeah, but it's nowhere near like 1 through
Well, like,
4.
I mean, I think they're all pretty solid stuff.
They're all pretty solid, but like in terms of like a horror aspect, I
If you're
think
if
that
you're
1
talking
through 4 is
pure
a really
horror,
good. Yeah,
I think Sister Location is definitely up there, but
it's up there, but like I feel like you can't top 1 through 4. Those are just like the basic gameplay,
I mean,
whatever. But yeah, that's
obviously
FNAF.
nowadays it doesn't scare us at all because we've become numb to the jump scares.
Yeah, this came out when like we were all in middle school, but like overall, looking at it as your first time if you're playing it, I recommend going for it.
It's
That's
it's really
all I'll say on
fucking good.
FNAF.
I feel like if we're going to talk about indie horror games, I feel like it would be wrong for us not to mention the original Slender the 8 Pages game.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
hell yeah.
Classic.
That
Classic.
shit launched off the horror series.
Dude, that
I thought it
kickstarted
was
everything.
Amnesia that helped launch the horror series.
Amnesia was like definitely
That was one
like
of the
what
footholders,
started
I think.
YouTube. Yeah, it was like the first big YouTube craze I could think of. And then
Yeah.
Slender was like the first gigantic YouTube craze.
Slender
that
is
one was
like
huge.
Slender is like Mario. Like yeah, Amnesia was like Atari where like yeah, it started but fucking Slender carried that shit and sent it off.
Yeah, like no one talks about it nowadays. It's ultimately like feels really forgotten for how big of a craze it was at the time.
Yeah.
Slender is what helped put the Markiplier in his name, made the name as big as it is.
Yeah, like
that
Slenderman was fucking huge. Like the creepypasta stories were everywhere. There was people making different maps and like different games and stuff on it.
The fan game craze. Oh my, there were so many fan games. Some done well, some done bad, and some like memorable shit.
It was mainly just like Slenderman in different locations. That was pretty much the gist of it.
But you know, what mattered most was how the map was done. Because like obviously the original map was just like a generic like dark nighttime forest with barely any detail, but like you know some people would take that like outdated engine.
It's that fucking music, man. That damn
true.
music.
The music, and also when you grab more pages and there was like more of like the like atmospheric noise, like the fucking wind was blowing or some shit to like ease or to like I don't know.
It's just a constant buildup of the same loop, but it works. It works so well.
It was basic. You don't even know why you're there. It's really dark outside, but you remember the locations. You remember what the pages look like. You know the mysterious creature. Don't know why you're there, but
I mean, it's such a simple and easy take, but the way they made it, it just works. Everything just works.
It was definitely a good way to promote the game that you would eventually release to failure.
Yeah.
I only wish Slender was still doing good nowadays. I know they had a big
they released
game.
Like a new game?
So Slender the
Arrival?
Well, yeah, so what the 8 Pages was, it came out like years before the Arrival. So the Arrival was supposed to be the end goal of the project, but they like started the Slenderman thing and they're like, okay, let's do this game, Slender the 8 Pages. It was meant to be like this really early like proof of concept game as like to bring the Slender idea to life and just be like a free download for people to try, and it fucking exploded. But unfortunately, Slender the Arrival just took so long to make, and like the Slenderman craze like took it took too long, and the Slenderman craze died down, that like Slender the Arrival just ultimately didn't do well, and those who played a lot of people really just didn't care for it.
Oh
yeah.
Was it not that good?
I can't say for sure. I haven't experienced it or anything. But...
Yeah, that's the thing. We know nothing about it. Like we know it's there, but
no, it didn't review well.
Can you still buy it on Steam and like other platforms?
Reviews, and it says that it has good reviews.
Is it still available for purchase? Because I wouldn't mind trying it out, just to like get a better.
Yeah, it's $1.49 on Steam.
Really?
Yeah,
is it on sale?
It's mostly positive. It's on sale. It's normally $9.99. It's 85% off till November 1st.
That got me scared for a minute.
The definitive version of Slender?
I can only assume it's just a finished state. Maybe not definitive, but I don't know.
So product received for free. Review says white people are scary.
I feel like
I mean, you're not wrong
need
though.
to mention some of the SCP games?
Yeah, actually, I agree. Containment Breach, like the
There's
classics.
yeah. I also want
Uh,
to mention the multiplayer game because that's really fun.
I've seen a little bit of the multiplayer. It looks
Um,
good.
There's like
But
one you
I'm
there's
also
one you
fascinated with the whole what was that one game called? It was the one where it's an endless staircase. It was basically the back rooms before the back rooms
it
was
was
a thing.
like SCP something.
SCP
It was-
staircase.
What was it,
Hold on.
4-9 or something like
I'm
that?
looking it up. SCP staircase.
I guess why you do that.
087.
Oh, 8-7. My bad. Oh my golly! Like I've just seen like recent videos of like the latest version of it, and I'm just like, holy shit!
Yeah, no,
Like,
that shit.
why
kinda
don't we have more stuff like this? This is amazing. The Backrooms has nothing on this.
like it's such simple ideas that can be made into such horrific things. It's just no one really
It's that
puts the time and
tension.
effort.
It's that build up.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yep.
It's ingenious
Yeah.
and how ominous it is, and like I don't even know if there's an end goal or not. I don't know how many floors there are.
That's a good question. Does it even end?
It probably doesn't.
You know, I tell
oh no,
you
it
what,
does.
Aiden.
Yeah.
I tell you what. Here's what you probably want to play, right?
Yeah.
On Steam right now for 49 cents, 50% on sale because it's actually 89 cents or 99 cents normally.
Okay.
Slender Hentai Edition.
Oh my god. Link me that for later.
Oh
Let's see if
no!
we get the yellow dollar sign on this.
It's literally just like
You know what?
Slender Man, but you're being chased.
I
You're
will
looking
play
for a
that
hentai.
if someone buys me that right now. I will play that for all to see on Halloween in a Discord call with you guys
Oh my
Right.
fucking god.
for Halloween.
Are you fucking
This man
kidding
is
me?
killing the tools.
Why?
I'll
why
do
would
it.
we do this?
It's 49 cents, Luke. I'm not-
It's fucking hentai. What?
It's a good
Yes.
meme.
Yeah, it's a good meme, and also I love hentai.
Of course you do.
No.
So does Samuel L. Jackson.
Are you trying to get age restricted?
I'm not
Is this
playing
age
for the
restricted
channel.
challenge?
No, this is a me time.
Oh.
No, it's
He wants it for himself, huh?
no.
Yeah. They're gonna share.
I was being, but no,
Share?
I no, but for real, if you guys buy that for me right now, I will play that in a Discord call with you guys.
It's literally less than $1.
I don't have a credit card. I can't buy it, so one of you have to.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But
Man.
Bro, I don't
Anyway.
even want that on my credit card history.
it's just gonna show up as Steam purchase.
I know I wouldn't.
I know, but it's still gonna be a reminder.
I mean, look, if he goes into extra details, it will specify Slender Hentai Edition. That's the worst part.
Oh,
Cutie
God.
Pop is one thing, but fucking Slender Hentai? That's
Dude,
just sad.
You just don't understand.
Receipt for that, man.
you just don't understand the connoisseur.
You're right, I don't. It's fucking grotesque
Oh my
Grotesque?
god.
and fucked up. Why would you want to
Ugh.
see that?
Guaranteed
Anyway,
There's probably tentacles.
yeah.
What are you into, Aiden?
Hentai. Oh,
Don't ask questions you aren't prepared for the answer for.
I like Overwatch for it.
You're right.
Yeah,
I
dude.
should.
Yeah, dude, I love it. All the time. Anyway.
You liked Overwatch for me, just admitted it.
Yeah, anyway.
Wait, Overwatch
yes.
is a game?
But yeah, Slender. We all know, we all love it.
We all
I think
love
one-
SCP. We all love Slender. We
Yeah.
all love FNAF.
Containment Breach multiplayer is an insane fun amount of time, scary and hilarious, but one other indie game, horror game that I've played is Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Bendy. Yeah, we played that a little bit.
Would it? Yeah.
And
My
it,
thoughts
and
on
made
it?
you shit your pants as I was just sitting here. Yep, this is Bendy, all right.
Think about it, so.
I'm also not too good at like horror games. I could get like scared easily. I will admit that, but like, I think like the
Yeah,
concept
you
of like
definitely get
taking,
scared easily.
yeah, I think the concept of like a 1920s, 1930s animation aesthetic is
Being
fucking
abandoned and
brilliant.
being
Yes.
corrupted by these ink monsters. It
Or like
looks cool, but like I don't think it's that scary.
in
a game.
hindsight, like, and I'm more able to
They-
just get jumped. The reason I feel so scared was because the mood and tone and sound design and how it was used. I think that worked really well. In actuality,
I think it's
the jump scares just
definitely
seem cheap
more. It's
in
more of
some
a
instances.
horror-ish game that is like built for like all audiences, not just
Yes,
strictly for the mature.
absolutely.
I feel like.
Yeah, and I think the only real like way it got into popularity was because of that
Of its
1920
style.
in the character design of Bendy. I think that's what really launched it. And
Oh
honestly,
yeah,
I
they
can't
did a
deny
fantastic job with that design.
it has a good character design, and like the animations and art they've supplied. Like back in high school, I even tried to like make they had to like competition to like try and get a fan made poster into the game, and I even tried to do it a couple times, but I never could get in. That's just how good it was back in its prime.
It feels like Mickey Mouse is trying to get you.
I am.
Yeah,
I-
it also really led up to a lot of lore as well because
Mhm.
there was so many small details that you had to look at in order for some shit to make sense. And they also
I mean, when it comes-
made it so each and every time there was a chapter, they'd blue ball you just so they'd make you wait for the newer one,
I like being blue.
which
But
it prolonged its life cycle, which
Yeah.
was a great idea.
I think how
True,
they handled the
true.
chapter like in between time was solid, and making each chapter a bit longer than each one definitely helped. And then when you finally get time to adapt new changes into every previous chapter, etc., etc., that was handled the best, and it's probably why it got a final release and like on multiple platforms. And there's a reason why I have a physical copy, because it was handled solid. But I think that pretty much covers the majority of indie
Indie
horror
horror.
titles. Is there anything you guys can think of noteworthiness?
Man,
I don't know. Does the ending of the genocide run in Undertale count?
no.
No,
Okay.
not really.
Not
It's probably
really.
true.
I know it's got some horror-ish themes to it, but eh.
I mean, the game I consider to be the scariest is fucking Outlast.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, those are AAA titles though.
That game scared the ever living shit out of me when I first played it.
Oh, you actually
When you don't
played it.
when you don't know what's going to happen and you just go into a mental asylum, oh shit just goes haywire and you don't know what the fuck to do but run.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like a doctor that chops off your fingers in there?
Yes. There's also a DLC where a guy will literally make a woman out of you.
Oh,
And you
are
will
you ready
see-
for your next
You will see the
appointment?
corpses of guys becoming women
Oh,
before
geez.
they died.
I wouldn't want that surgery.
Yeah. Seriously, Outlast is a fucking great game. If you don't know what the hell is gonna happen, you really should try out the game.
I have Outlast 2, but I have yet to try
Ugh.
it. I got it for free.
Outlast 2 doesn't have anything related to Outlast 1 unless you
Oh.
get really into the lore, but at the same time, nothing in Outlast 2 makes a lick of sense.
Aw, man, is it just not as good as the first?
In my personal opinion, yes. Because at least whatever shit happens in Outlast 1, you're up to pace with what the fuck's going on. With Outlast 2, shit just kind of goes haywire because it goes haywire.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah,
Is
the
is there no
lore
like
behind
consistent
Outlast
theme?
2 is that it's set in a camp where these towers will produce a certain frequency where it will cause these people to become delusional.
Oh.
So shit will
Okay.
just happen to your character out of nowhere, and you won't know
It's
why.
Looneyville.
And there will be times where you're sent to the past because of your main character, because for some reason someone died and it was your fault.
Huh. So it's more like, did they like try to make it more like a mind fuck kind of game, or?
No, they just really went with like very spooky looking shit. That's pretty much it.
Oh.
There's not really that much of a plot.
Have you guys seen Alien Isolation?
Yes, that one's a really good game.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
is fucking
I've
sick.
only seen Let's Plays of it, but I have the game. I bought the game. I wanted to support the game, and I eventually want to play it one day on Free Palooza. I think that's a big opportunity for us to play for a Halloween special one of these days.
You know what? You know what one I love?
What you love?
Soma. That's a good.
Oh,
That's
that
a
shit
good
was
fucking one.
crazy because like
Now that's a
the guy
mind fuck.
literally had so much shit going on with him in such a short amount of fucking time. And
Yeah.
he's just like, what?
What is
Throughout
going
the whole
on?
thing. He's just like, what the hell?
What's
I was
happening?
just
Where am
back
I?
home like 10 minutes ago. Why am I home?
Yeah. It
Me and you
That-
gotta play that too. You gotta show you gotta show me the way, Aiden.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
ever remember. Go ahead, Ted.
I know I'm talking about all these horror games and just not bring up Dead Space.
Oh, that
I was
shit,
getting to
God,
that.
I need to buy all 3 of those games and play them myself.
Literally all
I actually don't
masterpieces.
know much
I
about those
know.
games other than the necromorphs.
Like
being
they look
scary as
amazing,
shit.
and I haven't seen much gameplay about those games.
Even
at
the
all.
third one, which has some complaints about it, more specifically because it was one of the first games to ever do microtransactions, and it was in like the campaign, and that was a little lame. But like, even that game is really fucking good,
I mean, ignoring the
Really?
microtransactions, as long as the story's good, I
and
don't give a
you
shit.
can play Dead Space 3 co-op, and that's also really good.
Ooh.
Oh, you want to try that out when I get to that point?
Sure.
Because I really do need to play Dead Space 1, 2.
Well, wait, they're
Good
remaking
feature.
the first one, so do you think they'll remake the other ones?
Eventually,
If
more
it
than
does well
likely.
enough, I think it'll have to do well enough for EA to care about remaking the other two.
I mean,
I
from what
mean-
I've heard, they're introducing dialogue into the character because the first one didn't have any dialogue. But instead of the character speaking, he will only speak when spoken to. So he will never say anything unless someone relays him.
Unless
information.
provoked.
Mhm.
Unless asked.
And in this game, they will start introducing a fallback feature. So, say if you left some ammo or health in a previous room or two, there is a chance that something will be there waiting for you.
Yep. Well, welcome to Dead Space. It's basically, hi, my name is Isaac. I'm the human being with the worst luck in the universe. How
Quite
may I help you
literally.
today?
He
Yeah.
literally has the worst luck. I remember one specific scene, and it involves his fucking eye, and I know exactly you know what I'm talking about.
Poor bastard. Good
That
game though.
fucking
Good game.
shit is.
If you haven't played them,
holy-
highly recommended. One of the best
Yeah.
best horror games ever. Honestly, Callisto
Yeah.
Protocol looks wonderful. Remake looks good. I hope it's fucking awesome.
I haven't gotten to play them. Unfortunately, but I have seen people play them a lot, like along with like I see Mark play Soma, etc., etc. It's a very good game, and I
Yeah.
need to play it, and so do you if you're watching this video.
And what Callisto Protocol comes out in December. Get that too. Game looks phenomenal.
Any more games?
Not that I can think.
Not
Small-
any good horror games that I can think of.
Could be small, could be like passion project from small creators in the land down under.
I don't know.
Any-
Honestly,
I
I
don't
think
know, Resident Evil 7, we didn't talk about that one that much.
Well, that's Resident Evil, just in general, and not much to talk about what's already been said.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I feel like we're
I
dragging
just
on
feel like
too
I
long.
should say I'm really happy what they did with 7, and how they've actually brought Resident Evil back to its roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You know, they did do that.
I'm very happy about that, and I don't regret purchasing it, even though I haven't played it yet.
I guess as a closing statement for this, like, as long as a horror game can, set up that atmosphere for like like unnerving, make you anxious and like fearful what's gonna happen next, I think that is one of the core things that like makes a horror game, and it's one of the things you need to make in mind when you start. Atmosphere sells everything. You can't just put like a scary dude and have him jump scare you half the time. You need to set up atmosphere,
You
and that's
need
what
to
all these
build
games do.
up.
And it's
Building
fun.
up matters so much. The atmosphere matters so much.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
tension.
Like I've said this like with Benny before, like enemies are just not really that scary, but like the atmosphere is so well built, I can get scared by it, and
Yeah.
it feels unnerving.
I couldn't agree more.
I don't know. I think we're dragging things on a little too long, though. I think there's. I mean, like, yeah, we could talk about more, but probably don't really need to. I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I
if
need
it's
to
okay
wrap
with
things up.
if it's okay with you guys, I have one last thing and then like two like one sentence answers. And that's pretty much, like.
Yeah.
So last thing is any notable like Halloween memory from your childhood. It doesn't even have to be like if you don't have any experience. It could just be like the closest thing you have to it. It could be from a game, whatever. Just your most memorable Halloween thing memory in the back of your head. What is it?
Sure.
I'll let you guys start off.
On Friday the 13th, on in October, mind you. It was Friday the 13th and in October. On, I think it was like 2009 or 2010. It was like a pretty rainy, dark morning because it was storming outside. It was on the school bus, still in elementary school. I think we were about to leave my neighborhood after picking up the last kid, and right as he like got on the bus and the door closed, the like lightning struck like right next to us on like a power line and cut the power out of like the neighborhood, and it pretty much fucking made the entire bus like flash blue, like someone just threw a flashbang in that motherfucker. It was pretty cool.
Killer Bean, could you give us like 15 minutes and then we'll be ready? Or whatever.
Just go on, man. Just go on.
Okay. Okay, Jim, what's your most memorable memory?
Okay, well, every Halloween, usually I would go trick-or-treating, and since a long time ago my pet dog, Tinkerbell, died, I'd go and visit her grave to pay my respect.
Aww.
Aww.
Fucking
sweet.
Because she had her life taken away by a bad pit bull.
Ooh.
That's rough, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm just glad she's not in pain anymore.
I know how that feels, a pet passing away. That's just, ugh.
Yeah, and sadly the property that we buried her on is being taken away too.
Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me.
Eventually I won't be able to pay my respects to her anymore. I mean, it's fine. It's inevitable. It's just, it sucks.
It's whatever.
Yeah. Luke, what's your biggest memory?
Memory. I mean, other than watching horror movies and trick-or-treating, I guess maybe the moment where we wore Halloween costumes into high school. I think that's the only thing I can really think of.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really cool moment in time. Where you dress up as whoever the fuck you want in the middle of class.
That was fun. I guess for me, I unfortunately did not get to go trick-or-treating for the majority of my life. I only went to a little bit when I was a kid, but after I just didn't get to.
Why
So
not?
unfortunately, I will not disclose. I don't know, strict parents, yada yada.
Oh boy.
But
Yeah, all right.
however, during high school, a friend of mine decided to take me out trick or treating for probably like was the last time in my life, and that stuck with me. Um, and it was me, him, and like our friend Austin. It, and we got on like I think Pat, you were there for it. We got like Austin this like eagle hat
Oh yeah.
at Walmart, and and then we were just doing like and around that time I was thinking maybe like doing another like video on my channel where it's like fucking dinosaur versus fucking eagle man. I lost the footage, so all that's gone. But no, we just the whole night went out to we had this giant IKEA bag. We were just going across the street. Since there were three of us, and we got to divide up the candy like the next day, and I felt like a kid again. I didn't get to dress up, but like I got to go out and trick or treat.
Oh
And it
yeah,
felt
dude.
great.
I'm happy for you.
You know, just out with friends, getting some candy, going door to door.
That's
You
what
know,
awesome.
matters. Just having a good time.
You know, that's
Right.
nice and all, Aiden, but I feel like you have to know you haven't been recording this whole time.
Oh no, I've been checking. Oh, that would suck. But no. And I guess now we reached the end, and I just have like
Yeah.
a couple like closure one sentence things, and I guess that would be here we go. I prepared some of these ahead of time.
Okay.
What if you were to go trick or treating right now? What would you go as?
I wouldn't.
Like pick a character.
I'm going as the Grim Reaper for my last year.
Skelly
Okay.
boy for me.
Jelly Boy?
Skelly boy.
Skelly
Oh,
boy.
Skelly Boy. Oh, all right. I'd probably just go as a basic Luigi, or maybe even like Sally and Belmont. I kind of have the hair for that now.
Like I respect all those. So I'm just not that kind of guy. I don't like dressing up. So
It's not your
I
thing.
guess.
And that's fine.
I guess like would you like hypothetically if you were to go like what would you pick?
hypothetically, I guess if I really were to do something, I don't know. I might do like I'd probably do like maybe a Street Fighter get up or something for fun. I think it'd be cool.
That's what's up.
I think that
All
wraps
right.
things up, don't it?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Well, thank you guys for
everybody
watching.
for watching.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. Don't get murdered.
Get murdered.